There's brand new guidance from the CDC when it comes to cruising, and the news is better than last time. We have this and loads more cruise news. Well, ahoy there cruisers, we're Cruise with Ben and David. I'm Ben. Please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. First up, newly released guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, states that fully vaccinated passengers can now go mask-free outside and enjoy a meal or a few drinks outdoors without wearing masks, except when in crowded settings. But for unvaccinated passengers, they would still have to wear a mask outdoors, except while in the pool, including whilst sunbathing on a lounge chair, spaced 6 feet apart from everybody else, and always in between eating and drinking during an outdoor meal service. There's also another bit of good news from the update. Cruise guests will now be able to go ashore and explore on their own, pending any local regulations. Previously, the CDC said that you would have to participate in an organised group tour in order to leave the ship. Now this is great news, as because ship booked shore excursions are very expensive, so this will save you a fortune, and we love to do our own thing in port to get that authentic experience. But again, for the unvaccinated, the CDC advises cruise lines to consider prohibiting self-guided or independent exploration during port stops by passengers and crew who are not fully vaccinated. Now, disappointingly, the CDC continues to treat vaccinated sailings and unvaccinated sailings exactly the same, which is crazy because it makes no sense at all. Vaccinated cruisers are very different to unvaccinated and provide a much higher level of protection on board. This news comes in the same week where the CDC has actually announced masks will not be required anywhere apart from on transport if you have been vaccinated. It just makes no sense to us. If they're going to do that everywhere, they need to do it including cruising. But whether or not it's too early for that anyway is your decision. In some more good news, the United States Senate has unanimously passed a bill to allow foreign flagged cruise ships to sail in Alaska without having to stop in Canada. The Alaska Tourism Recovery Act is meant to alleviate the Passenger Vessel Services Act, which restricts cruise ships from transporting passengers between different states or the same place without stopping at another port. This is something that will prevent cruising because usually cruise ships have to visit another country, Canada in this case, but Canada has banned cruising for at least a year, so it would prevent any restart. If the bill does become law, it will apply to any sailings that begin on or before February the 28th, 2022, but we'll keep you updated on any further news. Next up, from Royal Caribbean, Royal have announced that masks will not be required at its private island of Coco Cay. This is great news. Could you imagine in that heat on a beach in the Caribbean having to wear a mask? We can't think of anything more unpleasant. Royal Caribbean said, because it's our private destination and because everybody who lives on the island will have the vaccination and all guests will be vaccinated who are 18 and older, you will not have to wear a mask when you're at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Now, the first sailing there departs in just under a month on the Adventure of the Seas, departing June the 12th from the Bahamas. And as we said with Royal Caribbean, all passengers over the 18 must be vaccinated, whilst those under 18 will have to provide a negative PCR test to sail. Now, we've got an update from last week's news when Norwegian Cruise Line said it might have to pull out ships from Florida or even the USA due to the state's new law against vaccine mandates. When reporters asked Governor DeSantis about Frank Del Rio, the CEO of Norwegian's comment, DeSantis was not concerned with Norwegian's actions and even called Norwegian not one of the bigger cruise lines. He also added, I can tell you this, if one of the smaller cruise lines says they somehow don't want that, the niche will get filled in Florida. Oh dear. Well, first of all, DeSantis, Norwegian's actually the third largest cruise line in the world. It is absolutely one of the bigger cruise lines. Very concerning that he isn't aware of that. We just don't know what to think. We will leave that up to you. The current bill stops a business entity from requiring patrons or customers to provide documentation certifying vaccination against or recovery from COVID-19. Now, this is a big problem for cruise lines who want to sail from the USA and especially Florida, as they want vaccinated cruises to go ahead, but it conflicts with the bill. He also criticised the CDC, saying, if you're sunbathing, you have to make sure they're wearing a mask. whilst they're sunbathing. Are you kidding me? That is an absolute farce. Well, we kind of agree with this point. And finally, in more good news, on Saturday, the Port of Baltimore will reopen its cruise terminal, following the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention providing cruise lines with new test sailing requirements. The executive director of the Maryland Port Administration, William Doyle, said he will be working towards a restart of cruises. It's great news, and it's good to see that more ports around the country are reopening. Well, thank you so much for watching. At least we had some good news this week. Please do make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us bring you more content, and give us a thumbs up. It really helps us. And thank you so much to all of our patrons as well. We give you a Zoom call every single month, as well as exclusive behind the scenes footage and episodes, as well as postcards whilst we are away. The captain of the week is Sarah and Louisa. So ahoy there, Sarah and Louisa. That's it till next time. Happy cruising.